talk to. We wanna welcome you to SAZETU. This show's alive because of SAZETU.
SAZETU is brought to you by Maine Spirits. Learn more about the delicious spirits they import into the great state of Maine and the cocktails you can make with them at mainspirits.com or by downloading their app for your smartphone or visiting them on Instagram at Maine_spirits. Promotional consideration by State Theater Portland. Visit statetheaterportland.com for an up-to-date schedule of virtual events and upcoming announcements as we get closer to normalcy. And Sun Tiki Studios, a top-notch rehearsal and performance facility located on Forest Avenue in Portland, Maine. Learn more at suntikistudios.com.
There's an airplane going by. Can you hear it? We live kind of near the airport. The rent's really good, though. Just a lot of my recordings have airplanes on it.
Yeah. It's like the Blues Brothers scene when his apartment is right next to the train tracks. It's like, how often does that train go by? So often you won't even notice it.
Yep. I think that was true also for Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow in Seven.
Yes. Yeah.
Another funny movie. I am tired. Just put it out there. I am tired.
I hear that.
Pooped.
You know, last week was really my first full, event-packed week in over a year. And it felt great. But then both Saturday and Monday, I was just both mentally and physically drained.
Yeah.
And by all standards, pre-pandemic, that was my regular work week. That would have been nothing special.
Right.
Yet it took everything out of me this past week.
I'll echo that sentiment. I mean, I was also with you for probably 2/3 of that, if not 3/4 of all the activity.
Probably 4/5.
But then you had a show with Love by Numbers in here in Portland here. And it was just a lot and remains to be a lot. Like today, it's compounded by the bathroom in where I live is being redone right now. Mm-hmm. And so that means there's just a shit ton of activity at all times. And granted, our contractor is awesome. I've known her for a long time, and she and her partner, who used to own Keola's, which is a really good restaurant in town. It's now called Cheval. It's new, but that location. But Lisa's the GC, and she's super nice, and Abby's awesome, and kind of comes through and just keeps everyone on task, and just does all the little stuff, and not just little, but just running around taking care of the details, which is cumulatively not little at all. But yeah, they have a nice group of people working for them, but it's just non-stop. First thing in the morning, we're at the point now where just let yourselves in, and then they try to be quiet in the morning, but inevitably, Lisa's in there just being so gentle and great, and then then all of a sudden Jesus fuck dude, oh god, the boys are here.
Man. So right before I left my apartment in LA to come back here for the month before that, the house next door to us was being demolished, and it was one of those things where I think they were demolishing the house but leaving the front facade standing, so it's a restoration instead of a rebuild.
Yeah, that way certain things are grandfathered in as well.
Exactly. And so they had this crew that would show up from they'd be there from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day, and they would show up and they'd be yelling at each other and blasting music and taking down this place, and there was I guess a beehive or a hive of something with a stinger that they kept trying to at one point, every time they'd get near it, they'd get swarmed by bees.
Bees, millions of bees.
It was a comedy of errors every morning, but it also happened to be starting at 7 a.m. on a night where I might not have gotten home till 3 a.m.
Sure.
But yeah, they would do the thing.
Yeah, so we've been like kind of burning the candle at both ends here at the house, and the wife's been working a lot, and I've been working a lot.
Yeah, it's brutal.
You know,
they
things that we're
finished
doing also
literally
have
like
been,
3 days
pretty
before
high heat,
the
like
world
85,
collapsed. I was
90
like, finally, I get
degrees,
peace and quiet.
high humidity,
It was brutal.
turbulent weather.
So I know what you're going through.
Yeah, between that and the interruptions, also, it's just like, okay, like I'm like a balloon pop away from getting a hotel room. Just leaving the dogs here. Are you back?
I did. I am. Sorry. Yeah, I was just about to ask if I lost
did. So you heard all that hilarious shit I just said? It wasn't hilarious at all. Just wrap the story up. No,
I'm going to pretend that I heard it,
great.
but I didn't.
No, it was great. It's probably my best work yet.
Well, I guess I'll have to tune in to the show when it airs.
Well, speaking of tuning in, we sure could use it.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah. So, right around, we have been hashtag blessed with a very loyal listenership and very loyal sponsorship.
Yep.
But I think it's probably crystal clear that this show has not popped off like, say, a Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend or a Smartless.
That is true. We're not doing the celebrity numbers yet.
No.
Oh, no. Although one of the things I was going to tell you before we started recording actually has to do with specifically that. I was watching a clip of Sarah Silverman on Conan's show last week. And so apparently she had shared a picture of herself on Instagram wearing no pants. So just, her bare bottom was showing. And Conan shows the picture and he's like, so what's the deal with this? Why did you share this picture? And she was like, oh, I just, I figured, she's like, I took the picture initially and sent it to my boyfriend because I thought it was funny. But then she was like, I'll just share it to Instagram because it'll get lots of attention on Instagram. And then, but the only caption she put underneath it was, subscribe to my podcast.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm not suggesting we do it.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, no, nobody wants that. But she was like, yeah, but she was saying the reason she decided to tag that picture, subscribe to my podcast, was she does the thing where she videotapes herself and she'll put the clips on Instagram and all that. And she's like, people will watch the clips on Instagram and interact with it. They'll watch clips on YouTube and interact with it. She's like, but that doesn't count towards like the listens or subscriptions, so she's like, people are like, oh, I'm looking at your podcast, but that doesn't generate the numbers that she needs to keep it going.
Sure.
Somehow it was like kind of I don't know, it was kind of comforting to be like, oh, even a big time celebrity feels the need to show her butt on Instagram to get people to subscribe to her podcast.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, again, not to like, this is not woe is me, because Zach and I aren't woe is I folk. Woe is we. But we also switch it up every so often. Yeah. It's been a while since it became SAZETU, I think, here in season 3. So it's time for a new skin, a new look, some new ideas, some fresh ideas to juice up the show because, first of all, thank you, dedicated listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
And obviously it's enough to keep it going. But I don't know. I'm really kind of getting into, like almost 2 years in, I'm kind of getting into having a talk show. Especially when I don't have to dress up for. But yeah, maybe we'll just take this time and start cruising through some ideas, brainstorm some ideas.
Yeah.
What say ye, Jones?
I say, let's do it.
Right.
This is not a good brainstorming session for me, or it's not going to be because I already couldn't think of what medieval response I wanted to give to what say ye.
Am I going to be doing the heavy lifting here?
I don't know. I hope not. Maybe I just need a little warm up.
Sure. Speaking of our sponsors, we want to thank Maine Spirits for being steadfast sponsors of the show. And this week I want to actually really plug this. I do a series of videos for them that it's called Happy Hour, but they're videos. And we finally get everything lined up where the videos match up with the show. And so this week, we're going to be making a Galliano. Nope. We're going to be making a beverage out of Galliano for our friend Martha Bunker. You know Marty, of course.
Yes, I do.
And she normally makes a Harvey Wallbanger, which is, I think, the only drink that anyone makes with Galliano. And that's not entirely true, but that's like the one that would probably come to most anyone's mind. I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, yeah, that drink. I've heard of that. I've made it a few times, too, but it's not like I've walked into it. Like, I'm not from 1925, so I'm not going to walk into a bar and be like, make me a Harvey Wallbanger, Jimmy, and make it fast. But I was hunting around, like reading other people's recipes and just trying to get a feel for where other people are using the spirit. And I was like, wait, it can be like so simple. And it's an Italian Greyhound, Jones.
Ah.
Which is...
I am a fan of the regular
half
Greyhounds.
ounce, 1.5 ounce. Right. So this is 1.5 ounces of gin, half ounce of Galliano, 1.5 ounces of grapefruit juice. There it is. And then stir that up a little bit, get it mixed, not to make it cold, and then pour it in a rocks glass with some ice, and then garnish it. I mean, you could use a piece of grapefruit or lime as appropriate as well, but a Luxardo cherry, pardon me, will really tie the room together. And that's the Italian Greyhound.
Wow.
And you can check the video out on Maine Spirits' YouTube page and at their website, mainspirits.com. And drink deliciously and responsibly. Follow them on Instagram, Maine_spirits. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
I think you nailed it.
Meanwhile, I'm having a Campari and soda.
That sounds great. I am just having a peppermint tea.
Okay.
I wasn't informed of what kind of party this was going to be.
Did we get a Celestial Seasoning sponsorship I'm not aware of?
Maybe that's why we need more listeners.
That's right. Yeah. So, not in a ploy to necessarily get more listeners, because, maybe we're just hanging out on the mid-level podcast, tier, which is fine, because maybe we're mid-level podcasters.
Yeah. Well, we have obviously a lot of freedom on the show. Our names are in the title. And we use it a lot. We're if we were a travel podcast, we could just move into the travel lane and be like, hey, people who enjoy travel shows, come listen to this. But we're like, we'll do a travel show one week and then talk about a movie the next week. So
we're a variety show.
We're a variety show. And
okay.
Yeah.
So I'll write down. We're going to do a real brainstorming here. Variety show. That's what we are. What else are we? Let's identify what we are. This is a great start. Good job.
Thanks. I would say our show is heavily focused around pop culture, I would say. Especially music and movies. But it also requires a little bit of investment in Spencer and Zach, because sometimes we're going to talk about things that maybe you don't give a shit about. But if you're invested in the way that we talk about things and discuss things, maybe it would still be worth listening to.
See, I've got people like that. Like, there's a lot of shows I listen to where I give a shit about the people more so than like the guest or the happening, or it's just about kind of hearing them work it out. Okay, so people must be invested in us. Invested must be.
They must be.
In us. In present form. We are also sometimes an interview program. That's been a while. Started more interview.
Yeah.
Then there was a fucking pandemic.
Yeah. That was a drag.
That was a fucking drag. But then we got to jump on the show together and fuck around. That was fun.
That was great.
And then,
That was I mean, I've said it before on this show, but in most ways, that was the highlight of my pandemic, was being able to be on the show with you.
oh, likewise, dude.
Yeah.
And now we've seen each other so much and actually play music with, like, we're fulfilling our first best destiny.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, we do a show.
It's a win all around.
So I don't want to like let it fade into the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like I either want to blow up the show or change it, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe we blow it up and put the pieces back together. Mm-hmm. I think what's most important for us to remember is that we are a variety show. Mm-hmm. Speaking for myself, I am heavily influenced by a lot of different talk shows, mainly talk shows and some sketch comedy. Mm-hmm. Big Dave Letterman person. Conan is a big one for me. Like he was my current guy. Johnny Carson I used to watch a lot. Even watched Tom Snyder. Bob Costas did some stuff for a while, which is weird, but he's oddly good at it. 60 Minutes, that whole crew. David Brinkley. News to comedy. Never get into Garrison Keillor. Like that show irritate. Like I could kind of get behind it a little bit because like I can, get down with some folksy humor, but that show is ultimately annoying.
I am not even familiar with it, so.
The Prairie Home Companion?
Oh, okay. I do know Prairie Home Companion, but again, I have not spent a lot of time with it, so there you go.
So, but back towards like Dave Letterman, that's really like my center. And then like kind of coming up in the 90s, there was a lot of crazy shit on like MTV that was kind of variety. Like Jon Stewart had some shit going on. Mm-hmm. Zach Galifianakis, actually, weirdly enough. It was like the Ben Stiller era. Mr. Show. Monty Python was an early influence. So I do like the ability to do whatever we want, whenever we want it. And now that I hear myself saying that out loud, that might be true for almost anybody who has a show, but maybe they come to the realization that what if we make our show about something so that we can make it about nothing?
Yeah.
But then you have Seinfeld and Larry David who deliberately made a show about nothing and really had something. Mm-hmm. But we're not, comedians.
No. I mean, every now and then we have our moments.
Sure. Yeah, like in the way that like someone's fun dad has a zinger.
Yeah, or sort of like if you fire 100 shots at your target, maybe one of them will hit.
How many episodes deep are we? I think we've gone over 100. Maybe. There's no more target left. We're just shooting it into the air again. So, it was Spencer Explores the Universe, SETU. Spencer and Zach Explore the Universe, next iteration. Mm-hmm. Then it was SAZETU, parentheses, Spencer and Zach Explore the Universe. So we either need to change everything and keep adding. Oh, we can do every time is have parentheses formerly. Formerly. I'm into that. That's a good long gag. Especially if we're going to do this every few months. Yeah. No one can find your show because they can't remember the name of it. Spencer and Zach go to Hollywood, like. Yeah. So if we're a variety show and we do some interviews and you kind of have to be invested in us, what then can we do? Well, we can do anything because it's 2021 and the future is now.
Yeah, and this is an audio show, so we don't need any visual production.
Yeah, thank God it's an audio show. I have a mobile recording unit. Like, you and I could legitimately go to like the top of Mount Katahdin and record a show. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do that because we don't do that well with the show. We do well.
We do well.
But not that well.
That would be fun to get some, some average person on the street involvement. I was actually thinking about when we played up in Farmington the other night, had we not encountered every technical difficulty possible to encounter at a show. Initially, I was like, maybe I should call Spencer and ask him to bring his field recorder because it might be fun to talk to people in the crowd and be like, what are you most excited about for tonight? And maybe even catch some people afterwards and that sort of thing. But there was no time for that.
There was no time for that malarkey.
Yeah.
So we could do some, feet on the street. I think we should stay in the title.
Yeah. I'm a fan of SAZETU, even if it doesn't mean Spencer and Zach explore the universe. I feel like that's kind of starting to stick a little bit.
So maybe we go SAZETU, like the different, like semicolon. Right, and then say what that season is. Yep.
I mean, because I feel like we're at the point now, like when KFC just became KFC. They don't need to write. They don't need to write Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore. Yeah. You know what it is.
I feel like on one hand we're better than KFC. On the other hand, we are nowhere near as good as KFC. We are better for you than KFC. Although, I don't know, biting into that chicken makes people pretty happy.
It sure does.
Makes me happy. And then afterwards, I regret.
Yeah, I'm not so happy.
It sounds like we're kind of like neck and neck with KFC, except more people like KFC. Tastes good. You realize immediately it was a bad idea. Yeah. Or at least a waste of time. At best, a waste of time.
At best, a waste of time. Yeah, actually, I would say the drawbacks 30 minutes after eating KFC versus 30 minutes after listening to an episode of SAZETU. I think we have the advantage there.
What if we create a new title for it and then afterwards we parentheses it SAZETU? So SAZETU always appears and remains searchable.
Ah, okay.
But we have Spencer and Zach in the title also. Mm-hmm. Because I like it when when there's like a title to it, like with people are in it, like what are we doing now? Mm-hmm. How about Spencer and Zach, semicolon, men on the street?
Men on the street?
Want me to say it again more robustly?
Sure.
Spencer and Zach, men on the street.
Does that limit us to doing Men on the Street episodes every week, though?
I mean, yeah.
Or is that just like who we are by nature? Is Men on the Street?
What are other things that we could be do? We know what's up. Spencer and Zach know what time it is.
I mean,
Spencer and Zach, what is hip?
What is hip? Yeah, tune into us to find out what's hip. We had a name sort of assigned to us that we've riffed on a couple times.
I kind of like it.
It has a good ring to it, which is Spencer and Zach talking smack. Right? I mean, I just don't like the idea of actually talking smack about people all the time, but whatever. It's a good title.
I mean, I love it. It's my favorite title. Spencer and Zach talking smack. Okay, well let me do a little research here. Talking smack Urban Dictionary, right?
Yeah.
Smack definition. I mean, this is actually kind of a worthless search because I know that everyone feels like talking smack is like talking shit, and I do. U.S. informal, to make critical or insulting comments to someone, especially an opponent. We argue and fight and talk smack to each other.
Huh.
I mean, I don't want to like get into like talking smack with you. You fucking piece of shit. You no game having, nerdy clothes wearing, Star Trek watching.
How many episodes would that last?
This sucks. We actually tried to do one at the top, and I got a phone call like, I don't know what that show is about. Like, yeah, I guess we didn't either. When we were like, the art of the
what, backwards
backhanded compliment.
Sorry, backhanded.
Yeah. All right. Well, Spencer and Zach talk some smack is good. Or we could do Zach and Spencer get some dentures. Is that limiting?
No. We can if we just try on. I mean, if we had like Fixident or something like that as a sponsor.
Okay.
Might be the wrong show.
Interview show. What if we have a guest host every week, and they they interview us?
Huh. I feel like that could get old pretty quick, unless they're interviewing us about different subjects every week. Then we're just back to doing what we did. Well,
right. Everyone's going to come in with their own set of questions, right? And if they're like, "Where'd you grow up?" Like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, thanks for listening. Next.
Yeah. Do you even know us? Why are you doing?
Click.
That's where we talk smack. So we just beat down our guest host.
Or someone could come in with something that they like. Oh, what if we bring in guests every week and they air their grievances? Like, say for instance, we had our one of our friends of the show, right? Jonathan Wyman, for instance, Brianna Holt. And what if we had them come up with their peeve list, right? Their pet peeves. And then we can join them in talking smack. That way we don't have to turn into a Howard Stern-like show where we have to like dig up some controversy about shit. That turns into gossip after a while. I don't want to talk smack about people. But I mean, sometimes talking smack about people's good, like, the last presidency, for instance, not great.
No, not great.
I'll talk some smack about that goofball.
Yeah.
But I mean, certainly there are plenty of people in the world who are like asshole actual. You know, they don't have to be presidents either.
That's true, but there's also a lot of negativity out there anyway.
I know, but that's what sells, Zach.
It's true. You're absolutely right.
I'm going for clickbait. Okay, we can either talk some smack, or I'm going to put my ass on Instagram. And that's up to you. That's
all right,
up
fine.
to you,
We'll
right?
talk smack.
No, that's what I'm saying. If the guests come in and they're like, it really grinds my gears, like, go on. Blueberry muffins, whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with blueberry muffins? So you're either like you're like, yeah, I can't stand that thing either. Or you're like, what are you talking about? And you end up defending the thing.
Yep. We become a debate show.
Yeah, it's a debate show.
That's actually kind of fun.
A debate program. I'm going to write that down. Spence and Zach talk some smack. Or talking smack. That's the other thing, too. Are we Spence and Zach talk some smack or talking smack?
I like talking smack.
I like it.
Yeah. No, obviously no G on talking.
No, talking with an exclamation or a apostrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we have it be? Oh, I know. Oh man, yeah, dude. Like the theme song could be like eyes to like 1989 Fresh Prince Slick Rick.
We can finally do that old school rap we've been talking about for decades.
No, we could make the beats.
Okay.
I wouldn't presume to rap. I'm just wondering if I'm looking towards like that era of our lives because we've kind of moved on. We started in this 68, then we moved on to 82 ish. So are we 89 now? That's all.
Yeah.
Talking Smack sounds like some like program that Mr. Show would make fun of.
Yeah.
You know, like
Or
unhip people trying so desperately to be hip and relate to the young folk.
It reminds me of like Chris Rock and Chris Farley. I'm chilling.
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite skits. Yeah. Especially because it was introduced by Don Pardo. Yeah. And now for I'm chillin'. you know Chris Rock was like, gotta have this guy do it. Yeah. Well, should we okay, if we're going to be, we haven't really honed in on what we are. Well, one thing I like about Spence and Zach talking smack is that I feel like I know what that's about. Mm-hmm. Every week we bring on a guest, and every week they bring to us their pet peeve. We then pull it apart. Maybe we agree, maybe we don't. Mm-hmm. But either way, we're talking smack.
That does put us in a position where we have to find a guest every week. I guess not necessarily.
Yes.
But
yeah, we could talk some smack
ideally.
Between us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could talk smack about, for instance, I won't say too much, but I will try to like prickle the listener's ear in that Zach and I had a rich conversation with a friend of the show, Joe Riccio, about not really liking things called mainly. You want to do a practice, Spence and Zach talking smack?
Just see how it goes.
Just you and I?
All right. Let's give it a shot.
I cannot fucking stand it when people add the word mainly to their business. If you're listening from away, we're from Maine.
Yeah. So, that's a very common trope in the state of Maine is somebody starting a small business and calling it mainly whatever their business is. Mm-hmm.
And I actually want to cut this a bit short because this would be a great episode. If we had Riccio on,
oh, yeah.
We'd crush.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a crushing hour and a half. Mm-hmm. You'd only stop just to stop. Mm-hmm. Or the only reason it would be under an hour is because you had to edit out half of it.
Yeah, but all you'd have to do is edit out the laughter.
No, I don't think we would have to do that. You mean our own?
Our own.
That's most of our show.
Especially like if we had Riccio on, that would be the majority of the show is just us laughing for a very long time.
But we could pick things to talk smack about that are fucking horse shit too. Yeah. Topic: kittens. Topic: ice cream. Yeah. The worst flavor of ice cream is by far bubblegum.
Yeah, we've been doing our best of the best, but we've never done a worst of the worst.
Worst of the worst.
Or a worst of the best. We actually talked about that once.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Let's not go through all the show ideas.
Oh, sorry. Thought we were brainstorming here.
I'm hoping to make it into season 5 here. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. No, you're right. Worst of the, well, that's the thing is we could start doing worst of the worst, worst of the best, best of the worst. Best of the worst.
Yeah.
Is nice.
It is nice.
I don't know. I'm getting kind of comfy in Spence and Zach talk some smack. Here's another reason I like it. Like, of the two of us, I think that you are the most objectively nice one. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you're so nice that you've put up with me for over 20 years. Like, you're still my friend. I mean, not only are you my friend, but, like, you attach yourself to me public facing. You're not even, like, meeting me at a dive bar somewhere being like, that's my buddy.
Choose the booth in the corner, the one with the busted light.
And sit with your back to the door. Or, back away from the door. So you have this, public-facing, very easygoing demeanor. And it is true. It is who you are. But I've definitely seen behind the curtain. And I know that you, like, once in a while, my friend, you get a hair across your ass. and it's rich, too, because you're a wordsmith. And your timing is fucking excellent. And because, like, people expect me to be like, anyway, like, I'm like Andy Rooney. The trouble with that is, everyone expects me to be like, this grumpy piece of shit, but like they're like, oh, he's so kind.
Yeah. I feel like the last time I really lost it is when we were talking about Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, you did lose your cool there. But, because it is true also that you are inherently kind and patient and all that. So yeah, I think that would make the conversation spicy and interesting. Sorry.
I think you're right. But maybe that's also why I'm maybe wrestling with the idea of, having sort of like a negative, having negativity like attached to the title and approach of the program.
Well, I don't know if all this like yellow submarine sunshine kissing rainbows shit's working for us, pal.
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I've got a therapist for a reason.
We definitely need to start titling our episodes like "Most Insane Takedown."
That's what I'm saying. Let's kowtow a bit to the trash culture. We can still maintain our creamy moral center.
That's true. We can still title our video "Most Insane Takedown," and then
yep.
Not even
Most Insane Takedown Pop-Tart flavors. I'm into it. Especially
you will
if we
not
don't actually
believe what Spencer has to say in this episode
about children.
About children.
The children are fucking gross.
Yeah. Children are idiots.
Mm-hmm. We could also talk smack about shitty things.
Yeah, there are a lot of shitty things out there.
Which is a double negative, but, four lefts make a right.
Yeah.
3. Shit.
Yeah. 4 just puts you right back where you started.
4 is just keeping going.
Which is maybe that's part of our problem too. Yeah. We always take that 4th left.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if you have any part of your career, Zach, that goes down the wrong path and isn't a good look for you, that would be the most easy thing to just detach yourself from and shit can, it's this podcast. Like, you can just be like, oh man, that show's so negative, I don't like it. Be like, cut bait. We're out.
Peace.
But I think the sweet spot is when a program rides the line in between. Like, yeah, you don't want to be negative. I would never want to do like a takedown show. I wouldn't want to attack people. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to attack scenarios.
Same.
Outcomes, mm-hmm. processes mm-hmm. that are annoying, line waiting. Legislation.
Always happy to be critical about movies and music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like we could have a talk smack about Battlefield Earth, and I could be like, why is that your favorite? It's the worst fucking movie of all time.
Why do you insist on playing that DVD on repeat?
Zach, you ignorant slut.
Hey, man, don't knock Battlefield Earth. You know I love that movie.
Well, I don't know if we've come up with any other ideas that have captured my imagination as much as Spence and Zach. Oh, okay. Can it be Spence and Zach?
Yeah. Why not?
If we're saying talking. Oh, should I put an apostrophe after my name?
Sure. You do the same. Did you leave the H off my name and put an apostrophe for some reason?
Sure. Yet another way we're unsearchable.
Yeah.
We suck at this shit.
We kidding?
We were born into a lane, my friend, and we're never going to get out.
Our first Talking Smack is about how bad we are at this.
Let's talking smack about myself. Let's put me on the table. Here are my least favorite qualities about myself. Number 1. Well, okay, tell you what. Let's earmark Spence and Zach talking smack.
Yeah.
I think we can go ahead and shake hand. Zach and Spencer get some dentures.
Yeah, I think we can leave that one behind.
Yep. The guest host, you were like, nah, but maybe guests. Definitely
guests,
as many guests
yeah.
as we can. We can do a lot of men on the street stuff.
Yeah.
I like the idea of you and I being men on the street.
I like that too.
Yeah, men on the street.
Here's the or I don't know, maybe this just confuses things even more. It was
Please.
just thinking on the variety show tip.
Yeah.
It's like we can still be, SAZETU is the overall brand. It doesn't even need to stand for anything anymore. And then we could do episodes that are talking smack. We could do episodes that are man on the street. But then that gets into the same thing where the listeners know what they're getting into every week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you just throw up there like easy cheese, like, okay, where are they going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, SAZETU sounds like a circus. Another thing I was thinking is that, oh man, I want to keep SAZETU in there like as the brand, but like, maybe not talking smack. Like, what else could we do? Like the variety show, the Spencer and Zach fun hour. Spencer and Zach attack.
Spencer and Zach listen to the knack.
Spencer and Zach, yeah, right. Spencer and Zach, take it back. I mean, if you had your own show, it could be Zach to the Future.
Ooh, yep.
That's pretty good. Spencer, my name rhymes with only dentures. Censor. Zach. Pack. Stack.
I like that we've decided that it has to rhyme.
I'm just going for zippy names. Alliterations work.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I like Spence and Zach talking smack. And we don't have to fucking talk smack the whole time. We're just we're just
it's a good title.
Shooting the shit.
Yeah,
it's a
we're
great
just shooting
title. I don't want to get into a hate show. I don't want to do a hating show. But like, we're just talking smack. Because the other thing too is like when you're on, I don't know if you spend a lot of time on the courts, but I have.
Like the basketball courts?
No, court, like small claims. But there's a lot of smack talking in there, but it's not real. You're just like, You talk smack about people you have respect for.
Yeah, it's
you know?
true.
And then you also talk smack about people that are pieces of shit. So, I would abstain from doing that on this show. I wouldn't bother talking smack about somebody I actually don't like, because why would I want to invoke their name?
Why would you want to give them any time?
Why would I want to give them the head and heart space? Mm-hmm. And then also, who the fuck do I think I am?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
You know, there's a thing there.
Yeah, if we keep our smack talking to things that are just straightforward, objective, it's kind of maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but there's no love lost either way.
Well, let's table this, and we will finish the discussion next week on the sequel to Blow Up the Show.
Yep.
Blow Up the Shoe. Blow Up the Show 2. Show Blower.
Show blower. This is our cliffhanger ending. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? What are we going to come up with? Find out next week.
That's right. You big-kneed, extra clean-toothed.
You're just back to...
I was trying to find some other insults. No guitar playing game having. Whoa, that was close to home. Did that make you self-conscious about your skill set? I'm sorry.
It did. I'm just going to go.
It did. Yeah.
I'm either going to
now no
practice or
longer
quit.
think that you're a great guitar player. I don't know if I like this show. All right, I'll see you next week.
All right,
my
next
friend
week.
who I actually really like a lot.
Sam, I can't wait to continue this.
Toodaloo!
Toodaloo!
SAZETU is brought to you by Maine Spirits. Learn more about the spirits we bring into the state of Maine at mainspirits.com and what to do with them by downloading their app for your smartphone or visit them on Instagram at Maine_spirits. Promotional consideration provided by State Theater Portland. Learn more at statetheaterportland.com and Sun Tiki Studios. Learn more at suntikistudios.com.